wanted to do was let this nightmare be over. Please let this nightmare be over. Hello Royals, once again, welcome to my channel. Welcome to She's World. My name is Sheila. Alright, I can do this now. Let this go. Okay. Hello Royals, welcome once again to my channel. My name is She's World, but you... Oh Lord, have mercy. Hello Royals, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Sheila, but you can call me She, or you can call me Quentin. Hello Royals, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Sheila, but you can call me Queen Ada or Queen Sheila. Or you could call me Queen Sheila. Anywho, today's video, we are going to talk about the infamous shark attack. Okay, so I think that there are a lot of videos out there. People have talked a lot about shark attack, but I promise you, everyone's experience is going to be different. And obviously, mine was different for me. And I think that is also based on which base you go to or that kind of thing. Because I was in Missouri, as I said in a lot of my videos, I went to Fort Leonard Wood and I was in Missouri. So ours was obviously different. So if you watch my reception video, we went over to reception, we got all of the stuff. And then we went to reception, I think it was February 5th. And so the Monday of that, we were scheduled to go to our, what do you call it, where the barracks are. So again, it's just across the street, literally. So you go to the 43rd where you do your paperwork, and then just across the street is where your basic training takes place. I remember we went on, ours was on a Monday, so the day before, which was the Friday, the week of Friday, a group was shipped over to the, what do you call it, to the basic training. So we could hear them and we heard it. And it was the most frightening thing ever. We heard them getting smoked. We heard them screaming at the top of your lungs. In the military, it's called sounding off. We heard them sounding off so bad. We were like, oh my God, this is going to be us in the next few days. So the whole Saturday, Sunday, we were like, this is not even fun. Monday, we went to, so on Monday in the morning, we already knew we were going to ship and all of that good stuff. So they took us to the, we were at the 43rd. We got everything packed. And now instead of I will insert a picture of how our luggage looked like. Mind you, they've issued us this 1 billion military gear, and we are carrying all this gear to our basic training. Mind you, keep in mind, we're going to have these 2 green duffel bags. You could either choose to use the black one or the green one, but it didn't honestly matter. It's just you had the duffel bag packed. Okay, so we went to there is like an auditorium where they brief us and they show us what to say and how to sound off and all of that good stuff. And we get to talk to the is it the command sergeant major of the 43rd, who comes in to, you know, that all that good stuff. And then we get to take a survey where you talk about if anything went good or bad. I talk about the survey because when you do that evaluation, that is when you either get your phones or you don't get your phones, because people prior to us had said something disrespectful about some of the drill sergeants, and they didn't get to get their phones to call their families. We were lucky enough we got our phones, and a lot of people called, and of course people are crying, people are wailing and all of that good stuff. So I called, I didn't actually call, I just made voicemail for my kids so that my husband could play it over and over for them if they missed me. So I just left a voicemail for my daughter and a voicemail for my son as well, and I said, hey, we're shipping and so forth and so on. So we all went out. We had to line up in the hallway of the 43rd. If you've been to the 43rd before, hey, my fellow soldiers, if you are here watching, just give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, let me shout you out. So anywho, we go ahead and we, what do you call it? We make our phone calls, and then we line up in the hallway, and then the first sergeant of our company, Bravo Company 148, he was there, First Sergeant Dallas. He was there to check us. So when he comes, you mention your last name and the last four of your social, and then you say maybe Birchfield, XYZ, first sergeant, and you address them with the last name. Sorry, you address them with their rank. So it went through all of us. And then I remember 2 drill sergeants, they were the senior drill sergeants there. They were walking, and I remember one of the drill sergeants over there telling them that these people don't know how to be quiet. And I kid you not, people could not just be quiet to save their lives. They were like, okay, we'll handle them. My heart dropped because that conversation was had right next to me. So anywho, they put us in the bus, and we had to carry these duffel bags. Look, I didn't even realize how heavy the duffel bags were. Okay. So we carried our duffel bags, and we had to drop these duffel bags in this big truck, like a huge military truck. But I'll see if I have a picture. I'll insert it. I think the pictures make it more easier to understand. So we dumped our bag in there, and then we had to go on the bus. So myself and Juicy, hey Neely, if you're watching, how are you? I remember Neely and I, oh my God, Neely and I were at the edge of the bus, literally. So I was up there, and then Neely was right behind me, and I remember standing there and thinking, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into? So they literally drove us across the road, and that's where that's where our basic training was. As soon as we got there, if you looked outside, and the buses we had were like tinted bus thingy where it was clear, but you couldn't see outside. All this is part of the anxiety. So we get there, and they're like, you have 5 seconds to get off my effing bus. I laugh now, but at the time, it was not even funny. I remember Neely and I running out, but they asked us to line up in some sort of place we were asked to line up. But the good thing that helped us was when we were leaving in the morning, we were asked to wear our military boots. But the group before us, which I had mentioned that the Friday we heard them screaming, the group before us had a lot of stretch fractures because they were not used to it. Because a lot of these us are coming just from home, no real physical fitness stuff. So asking them to wear these military boots and carrying these heavy duffel bags was genuinely really like a whole thing. So a lot of them were getting fractures. We were made to wear these alternate shoes so that it will kind of alleviate the stress on our feet when we go and we are dragging all these bags and all of these duffel bags. So I remember Neely was first and I was after Neely. And then all the drill sergeants, they stormed like a bunch of sharks about to attack us, literally. I think hence the name Shark Attack. And they were yelling, you need to be running. They were screaming. And then they made us stand there. And I remember they saying, why are you moving? Why are you effing moving? What are you looking like? The whole time I zoomed out. I think I zoomed out because there was so much yelling. I was not even sure what was going on. I was just standing there asking myself, why am I here? Why did I do this to myself? Why did I volunteer to torture myself this way? So after they kept yelling, they read out the rules and regulations that we always have to have our camel bags full, because even though we were there at a time when it was really cold, that's people do get dehydrated. So they made sure that we knew that our camel packs need to be filled all the time. The rules and regulation, who our drill sergeants were. And I remember them mentioning drill sergeant name, but I promise you, I don't remember anything. At that time, I was just in survival mode. I was just thinking, how do I survive this and how do I get out of this? So after that, they told us, well, if we mention your name, because they split us into platoons. So we have the company as Bravo Company, and then we have 1st platoon, 2nd platoon, and I think there was a 3rd platoon. Honestly, it was just happening so fast. So I was in the 1st platoon because they did break it down in alphabetical order, and my name starts with a B. So I was in the 1st platoon. So they started mentioning our names. They said, if we call our names, go and grab your bag. Mind you, our duffel bags is mixed with everybody, is mixed with everybody else's duffel bag. So you have to go look for it. And at that time, I saw such beautiful, beautiful teamwork going on. It wasn't even a joke. And nobody even asked us to do this. People who were there started mentioning names. So if you get there, they were mentioning names off of the bags, which made it so much easier for us to find our bags. Once we found our bags, we were supposed to come back and stand there and wait for our drill sergeant for our platoon. So they came. It was actually one female drill sergeant and then two male drill sergeant. Drill Sergeant Preston, Drill Sergeant Teasley, and then Drill Sergeant Powell. So we have these three, but Drill Sergeant Preston is the one who took us to the female bay. So she first walked us over there and told us to empty all of our bags, which was honestly very different from the normal shock attack they do, where the drill sergeants actually have you where they let you dump your bag outside. This time around they switched it up, which is actually in our favor. So we dumped everything out in the female bay. She went through and all the stuff that she thought we couldn't have, certain types of razors, but we were allowed to have razors. So if you want to take razors, your hair gel and all of that good stuff, your hair brushes, they're going to let you have all of it. But you cannot have extensions to do your hair like I have braids on. You can have extensions to do all of that. And then of course she talked to us about not being able to use soft bond for your hair, which I've talked in my previous video as well. So this is the fun part. Now, after she made us put our stuff away, we went to the male bay. So there's a female side and then a male side. The male side is where we go to meet and have all of our exercises, all of our classroom learning and all of that. We go there. So they told us to go there, and that's when they started to teach us what the supine bicycle is. It's all forms of exercises, the push-up. Then they told us, so this is how it's going to sound when we ask you to do it. The push-up in cadence exercise. 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 5. So they told us anytime the voice goes up, it means you're about to stop. And they taught us all supine bicycle, push-up, and a couple of exercises. Look, at that time my brain couldn't process anything. So they'll tell us, you have 5 seconds. 5 seconds to unpack your bag. All right, 5 seconds is up. You guys failed to accomplish this task. The supine bicycle in cadence exercise 1 2 3. I'm like, wait, we are about what, 20 females, 40, maybe 60 in the platoon. We're about 60 people in the platoon, and you expect us to get everything out of our bags in 6 seconds. And at this time we're standing at the male bay just waiting for the males to do what they have to do because the females are done. So we did the push-up. Okay, you have 5 seconds to do this. They're literally giving us 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Are you kidding me? In your normal life, can you even do it in 5 seconds? But it was all part of the training. As soon as you guys failed to accomplish they call us trainees. You failed to accomplish this task. The push-up. At this one in time, I'm like, don't even give us a task. just smoke us, because it's going to serve the purpose than just giving us tasks that we cannot accomplish in 2 seconds. So anywho, that day went by, and I think that's when they gave us our phones to us, and then they said, you have literally like 5 minutes to call your family and give them the address. I'm going to give you this tip. When they give you your phones to call your family, do not call to read an address off of a paper. That address is so long you won't believe it. I'll insert a picture so that you see how long that address is. Nobody is used to this address. Regular everyday people have not used this form of address before, so don't try to read it. Take a picture. All of the people you want to send it to everybody. That way, if you do make the phone call, you already have it sent out and you don't have to read off the address. I saw people trying to read off addresses. And also, when you call, family members would like to have a full conversation with you. So send the address, get it out of the way, That way, it's one less thing to think about. So they took our phones from us, and that was literally our shock attack. We got smoked every 2 seconds. Like, we couldn't breathe. It was just smoking the whole day. And then I think in the end, they put us to sleep, and literally they were like, get into your bed, sleep. And all of us, that room was the most quiet place I've ever seen. If a pin dropped, you would hear it. That was how quiet we were. We were all so quiet. And I remember we went and had chow. Like the whole day, chow was just dinner. You had to line up and you sidestep. Nobody eats like that in the world. But the military makes you sidestep to eat, and then you grab your food and you go sit on the floor. And we would always, I remember sitting on the floor asking myself, why? You have no idea that moment how many whys I said to myself, but I was still keeping calm. I was still trying to figure this whole thing out. But yes, that was really our shock attack. It was a bunch of yelling and smoking and yelling, and I can't really tell you much because I genuinely zoomed out. That's all for today for Shark Attack. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I'll be bringing you more videos. I truly appreciate you Royals for staying with me and still watching my videos. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you when I see you.